Something that I've thought about for a hot minute now is Dogmatika Fleurdelis and Eldlich. And the reason I think about this card is, for one, this actually gives us a turn 0 capability that's not too difficult to pull off. It can give us a 1 free card, and depending on certain matchups, we could use the punishment to send something like Apkalone, the El Shaddai Apkalone, to the grave, pop a card, and then use the effect to discard a card, maybe one of our Eldlich or maybe one of our Golden Land cards, and then we can banish that to get another card in rotation. But the reason I think it's very good is it's a good body, and there's good potential for punishment, because you could also use punishment to send something like Titanclad, either summon another one or send Albion. An Albion effect will grab us a Fallen in the Virtuous, which is a very good card right now for the deck. It puts a lot of pressure on the opponent, getting a pop and all. And while it does suck that you would get completely locked out of the extra deck, Eldlich can kind of go okay without needing to go into it right away. But you get a lot of advantage off of it. And even if you don't get to use it turn 0, you still get a free set, which is now live during your turn, which is kind of a big deal for the opponent to have to interact with, because it's kind of hard to interact with Dogmatika Punishment if that gets set to the board. And it gets you another Trap Engraved, so Trapaholic is even more live. There's some interesting applications, I feel like. I think this because you want cards in the deck that obviously have some sort of synergy and help the deck keep up in pace with the ever shifting tides of the game. But of course, there's downsides like any. If you splash this in, for one, you'd have to invest more into your side deck, which can be kind of tight sometimes. Even if Eldlich doesn't care, there's a lot of great cards they can use that you already have to cut. But you can use stuff like Natis and all to get rid of certain cards that would be an absolute nightmare for Eldlich to play into, that you can just get rid of. I do think it's a preference, of course. It's just an idea that I thought of, because Punishment is a pretty good card. Obviously, you can potentially get 2, or search your deck, or, go into a floodgate like Winda. The card has seen continuous success throughout the years. It's more of just a thought that you could do. Downsides too, if you did play this package, is you would have to at least play 2 Punishment, which doesn't sound bad, but you might need it just in case you will either want to set a trap that's not Fallen in the Virtuous, which again actually does make the branded cards even better, because then you actually just get way more grind with it. If you get your Dogmatika rotation and, keep popping cards and control the board state, because, we have proven time and time again that a Trident quick effect pop, and in this case a trap card pop, that plus is, in this case, like Fallen in the Virtuous, is a really, really good effect, and has proven to be a very good effect continuously. And not to mention, even if you drew this with Fallen in the Virtuous, which I plan to play for so long as it's at 3, because I think that card is just ridiculous in Eldlich, you can actually use both of this, because then you can send Albion with 1, and then, what's the card? You can essentially just get another copy of Punishment set and keep Fallen in the Virtuous, or however you want to do it. Again, the only downside is by playing into those, you actually lock yourself into the extra deck, because Punishment is a bit of an older card, back when cards actually had restrictions. So it could prevent some plays. But I think there's potential there. And I do think like my other video that I made, you'd have to kind of dedicate your deck to play it, but I think it's a fun idea, especially turn 0 Eldlich. No one would expect that, and you can get some pretty goofy results. Not to mention 2500 is a solid body, and you could actually consider playing Dragon's Mind a bit more consistently. The only reason I cut Dragon's Mind out is because the card actually does essentially read do nothing And that sounds insane, but the card actually does really do nothing because you do not have proactive ways consistently enough to have 2,500 on the board. Your opponent's going to spend the entire time preventing you from getting Eldlich at all. This is another way to get that. So let's say with the amount of turn 0 stuff, your opponent goes into K9 and they do Azuna stuff, and for whatever reason, this can get onto the board, or your opponent can turn 0 into, I think Elf Note can go into a synchro turn 0. It's a 3k body. I can special summon this. I can, set punishment, my turn, pop that card, set another punishment from deck, and you're chilling in that moment. And obviously, yes, again, this is a lot of hypothetical, but nothing ever gets done in this game if you don't experiment with stuff. And this is definitely a build I'd be willing to try if you all were down to see me, try to incorporate a Dogmatika package like this into the deck and see if it works. But I don't know. It was just something that I thought of and something that I figured I'd share. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you all think, and tell me if you guys know any other good ways for the deck to actually benefit from turn 0 plays that just don't happen to play themselves but have some weird way to actually advance your game state. Thank you.